Well, a major transformation begins in the week ahead on the near west side of Indianapolis. Elanco Animal Health breaking ground on its new $100 million global headquarters on the site of the former GM stamping plant. For more on that and some of the other big business headlines this week, pleased to be joined by Hollowell Consulting President Jennifer Hollowell. Also, IndyPolitics.org publisher Abdul-Hakim and 16 Tech Chief Financial Officer Robert Herzog. And welcome one and all to the Insiders in studio for a change, you know.
Yes. Always good to be here, not social distance.
That's right. I know, we're nice and close, so glad to have you all here. Let's start out with big developments. And this is a big development, I think, for a number of reasons for downtown Indianapolis and beyond. But Elanco breaking ground on that massive plan they have for a global headquarters, former GM stamping plant site, a campus really takes downtown across the White River for the first time, really. Jennifer, how, in your view, how significant is significant for the company, but how about for Indianapolis and the area?
I don't think you can overstate how important it is. You know, it's been such a challenging area to redevelop, and then to have Elanco coming in, you know, such a premier company really with more than 1,000 jobs. I think the average salary is around $150,000 a year. So incredible investment and, you know, kind of growing. We obviously have a big life sciences community growing, biosciences, animal health really I think fits in well and is going to attract a lot of talent also to the city and state, which is really important and is, I think, going to transform that area. Yeah,
how about you talk about talent? So Elanco certainly hopes it'll attract talent to Elanco, but I think Jeff Simmons has talked about it generally attracting talent to Indianapolis to go other places too.
That's right, and that's what we've seen with the tech community as well. You know, if you have to have a hub and places that people want to go, and then potentially they end up at another company that's nearby, but knowing that you have these big anchors that are so important does attract people from across the country, and we need that.
Yeah. And if you think about it, how Indianapolis and Central Indiana has changed, say 30, 40 years ago was all sort of manufacturing, sort of like, pulling a lever, and now it's like, high tech, high industry, the whole 9 yards. And also, I agree with Jen wholeheartedly with that whole sort of near west side of Indianapolis, going down the White River, where the Indians Park is, literally right across the street from the studio.
Yeah.
Here there's a lot of construction going on as well. So Indianapolis is moving in the right direction. We just got to keep it going that way.
Well, how about you talk about Indianapolis moving downtown? There's going to be a bridge, I think a pedestrian bridge as well as vehicles. That really connects downtown across the White River for the first time. So as you look out 5, 10 years and beyond, it'll really transform things over there.
If I like to walk from one end of downtown to the other end of downtown, now it's just a little bridge or something, not going to get my hair messed up.
Right. Good. Another big project, certainly for West Central Indiana, Terre Haute is not breaking ground, they're actually opening this weekend a new $25 million convention center. It's been in the works really since 2014 in terms of conversations back and forth. Somewhat controversial on whether Terre Haute wanted a convention center. It's ready to open now. Robert, as you look at this, I know Mayor Duke Bennett was on the show at the beginning of this broadcast, and he really feels strongly this can attract people, can attract additional investment and dollars to the community.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good bet for Terre Haute. The downtown needs this kind of attraction, and based on the size and the scope of what the investment is, it makes a lot of sense. The timing of it with the casino that's been approved, that's going to be breaking ground shortly. It seems like it's a can't miss for Terre Haute, and anything that can attract more people to that central business district with everything else that's going on in Terre Haute, I think is a positive for them.
Yeah, so many communities are trying to find their niche or find their way with things like this. Terre Haute certainly is making a bet this is what's going to happen, but they've got, convention-wise, they got to sell it, right?
Yes.
And they got to say, hey, come to Terre Haute and get people and get the events there.
Back to the people conversation, right? It's finding those talent within that convention space to be able to bring them in to know which size conventions can tap into and bring to Terre Haute, because they're not going to be competing on the same level for conventions with downtown Indianapolis.
Right.
But there's still a lot of conventions in that world that can actually fit into a space that would work well with what Terre Haute's bringing online.
And I think that's going to be a major challenge for Terre Haute too, because like I said, they got the casino that they're building, they got the convention center, but the question is what type of acts you're going to get to the convention center, what type of conventions are you going to get to the convention center, and who wants to go all the way to sort of west Western Indiana when you have Indianapolis here. So I think they got potential, but they also got lots of challenges at the same time.
I think we just have to give a lot of credit to the business and community and education leaders in Terre Haute and that region. I mean, it's a community that has had some challenges and has seen some population decline, not unlike a lot of other places kind of similarly situated. And over the last few years, we have really seen them rally to kind of take hold to build their future. And you've seen investments, not just those, and you've got obviously a great higher education institution, Indiana State, that also has seen investments and upgrades. And I just think that it's the people that are driving this, and they're going to help make this successful.
Yep. Good to see action there, no doubt about it. Other big investment here in the past couple of weeks from traditional companies. Allison Transmission opening really a high-tech training and innovation center. Rolls-Royce announcing a $400 million investment, which will be split between Indianapolis and West Lafayette. So, Robert, as you look at the traditional manufacturing, and of course this is high-tech, advanced manufacturing, but the importance of these long-time companies that have been here that are now really investing in a big way back into Indy.
That's what I like about it, is keeping them here and also investing in those jobs that are the new jobs of the next century to come, right? And I think, especially for Allison, it's a really important investment for everybody that in Central Indiana to make sure that they're keeping a good hub, between those two cities. Works well for everybody.
Yeah, and as you look, Abdul, at what Mitch Daniels at Purdue is doing with the aerospace district and all this additional development that beyond education, although it's connected to education with students, but they're getting with Rolls-Royce, I think $200 million of that's going up to West Lafayette, and Purdue. Saab is opening up a big production facility up there, so there's a lot of action up there too.
Exactly. If you look at it, like I said, I think the challenge is, and this is really good news for the state of Indiana, but I think the challenge is making sure we have the workforce that's there to take these high-tech, high-wage jobs, because that's going to be our challenge now, is make sure our workforce is good to go, because you don't necessarily need some sort of post-secondary something these days, which the Higher Education Commission and colleges and universities across Indiana have been pushing for. But you really need to have that workforce that's there to take these jobs. Like I said, Elanco, Rolls-Royce, you name it.
Yeah, Robert, you've got an education background, so I just thought of this. But what's the state in your view, of education when it comes to economic development? Because a lot was made when Intel chose Ohio for that massive multi-billion-dollar investment, and saying that the education piece here was one of the negatives.
I mean, it's still the case, right? And you've heard, we all know Teresa Lovers at the Commission on Higher Ed, which just retired, and we've got a great new commissioner coming in, are constantly trying to figure out how we can get more students through that bachelor degree attainment level, right? And Indiana's still low on that. So there's enough people who care significantly about this that we're still trying to push that up and basically driving the median income, but we're still not where we need to be, but there's enough of the right people focusing on it, back to your point, that are gonna basically be what drives this going forward, because it is important.
Yeah.
It does long term for companies who are trying to basically look at, hey, where can we relocate? Those educational attainment levels really do mean something.
Yeah, interesting story. I think out of the legislature, a bill providing incentives essentially for media production, film, movies, digital production. It's been talked about for many, many years, never made it through. It did this year. Jennifer, in your view, is this something that's going to benefit the state of Indiana?
I think absolutely. And this is an idea that has faced headwinds for a long time. And so the fact they got it across the finish line this year, I think, is significant. I actually had spoken a couple of months ago with a couple of individuals who are from Indiana, who went to our universities, who do this kind of work, and they're in the kind of 3D, kind of tech media production, and they said, we had to move. We've got the skills in there, and they said, you'd be surprised at how many people in Indiana are trained to do this stuff, but they can't get the jobs because the attractions are in other places, because a lot of other states have these tax credits and incentives, and we don't. So now we do, and I think that opens a lot of new doors for us.
It's massive business now. I mean, content is king on, with Netflix on down all the way through the entertainment space. And, Indiana's been a little bit behind in this, but this tax credit is really important to be able to compete with states like Georgia, where this is just a massive business on the northwest side.
So now I can record all my 8x10 glossies for all the content that we produce now. We've got these tax credits. So
I think that's why they got that bill through, Abdul.
Yes.
Very
There
good. Abdul-Hakim Shabazz, thanks very much. Jennifer Hollowell and Robert Herzog, thank you all for joining us on the Insiders in studio. We'll be right back after this.